welcome. There are two facets to this video concerning the diatonic scales. The first of which is to offer you a sequence that I hope can be very practical in your fretboard understanding. The second is to share with you an amazing characteristic that I've found of this scale and perhaps offer an explanation, at least in a geometric analysis, as to why this particular scale has been and is so prolific in our music. Let's dive in. Concerning our sequence, the first thing to observe is what I call the linear shapes. There are three of them and only three of them. I'll be showing these from the starting place of the 6th string, 3rd fret in each case. So the first one I call the super stretch. You play a note, skip a fret, play a note, skip a fret, play a note. That's it, super stretch. The other shapes correlate to the finger numbers. So this is finger 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the next shape is a 1, 2, 4. 1, next fret, 2, 4. That's a 1, 2, 4. The third and final shape is a 1, 3, 4. And this patterning, this sequence, always does 3 super stretches, 2 1, 2, 4s, and 2 1, 3, 4s. So when you add that up and recognize that's 7 things, and most of us are holding a guitar that has 6 strings, one of them is left out in each application, in each shape, I call it. Let's look into that. There are 2 rules that govern the motion of this sequence. Both rules are reasons to move 1 fret towards the body of the guitar. The first of which is when the super stretch gives way to the 1, 2, 4 every time. So let's say I have my super stretch. Let's say I start on the 6th string. Super stretch, super stretch, super stretch. Well, then when I go to the 1, 2, 4, I must go 1 fret towards the body of the guitar. And that's my 1, 2, 4. The second rule is going to happen right here. Every time you go from the 3rd string to the 2nd string, without exception, you again go up 1 fret. So that would be my 1, 2, 4. And then it would give way to the 1, 3, 4. So in this example, super stretch, super stretch, super stretch. Got to go up. 1, 2, 4. Have to go up now because it's in between the 3rd and the 2nd string. 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4. So in this case, the one that's left out is the second of the 1, 3, 4s. Now, the 2 reasons to go up a fret. Reason 1, super stretch is going to 1, 2, 4. Reason 2, 3rd string is going to 2nd string. If those collide in the same moment, it's true. You go up 2 frets. We'll see that in shape 2. So let's go through each of these 7 shapes. Each shape representing its own home base or its own mode of the diatonic collection. Shape 1, commonly known as the Ionian mode, or major scale, begins on the middle of the super stretches. So super stretch, super stretch. Now I'm at a 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4. Now I got to go up because of my string. Going to the 2nd string. 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4. That's shape 1. Shape 2 begins on the last of the 1, 3, 4s. So then I have 3 super stretches in a row. And this is it. This is what I alluded to earlier, is the moment when the super stretches go to the 1, 2, 4s is happening in between the 3rd and the 2nd string. So I go up not 1, but 2 frets, and that'll be my 1, 2, 4s. Super. There is shape 2. Shape 3 begins on the last of the 1, 2, 4s. So I have a 1, 2, 4, and then 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, and then all my super stretches. Super stretch, have to go up because of my string. Super stretch, super stretch. There's shape 3, or the Phrygian shape. Shape 4 begins on the last of the super stretches. So super stretch, and now I'm into my 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4. Then I'm into my 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, and then I have a super stretch up top. Mode 5, this is all 3 super stretches. Right at the beginning, mode 5 begins on the first of the super stretches. Super stretch, super stretch, super stretch. Then 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4. The 6th mode is beginning with the first of the 1, 3, 4s. Then I have my super stretch, super stretch, super stretch, and then 1, 2, 4. Then the 7th and final mode begins with the first of the 1, 2, 4s. 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, super stretch, super stretch. So you see what's left out there is the last of the super stretches. And then we'll be back to where we began in this example. So we just examined each of the 7 shapes as they would relate to G receiving the first mode. And we did that on the 6th string, which illuminated our 7 shapes. However, it may not always be necessary for you to orient with a 6th string. You can just choose the note on any string and choose your mode and let the shape ensue. That's something I would do often with my students, is choose a note and a string and then let the whole sequence work. So let's say I wanted to do a Dorian on an A note on the 4th string. So I play an A, and I know that the Dorian begins with the last of the 1, 3, 4s. So I have a 1, 3, 4, and then I'm into my super stretches. And then the shape ensues from there. So instead of actually thinking, what shape am I in concerning the 6th string, I'm really just going to a note and letting the sequence do its thing. So in the intro of this video, I told you that I wanted to share with you something marvelous that I found about this collection. It's its symmetry. Amazing symmetry. So I got here by wondering what the major scale would be like if its intervals were backwards. The formula of the scale being whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. So if I were to reverse that and go half, whole, 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 half, whole, whole, what's the result? And so I began to do this, and I discovered that the major scale, with its intervals mirrored, is the Phrygian mode. I was like, well, I wonder what would happen if I mirrored the Dorian mode. And so I did it, and I discovered that with its formula mirrored, it's still the Dorian mode. So like, okay, well, I went to the 4th mode, Lydian. Worked it out and discovered that the 4th mode, with its intervals mirrored, is the Locrian mode. And then the Mixolydian mode, mode 5, backwards, is the only remaining one, mode 6, the Aolean mode. And so I see that this symmetry was remarkable to me. And then I took it through other collections, other celebrated collections that I know, the melodic minor, the harmonic minor, and so forth. And I discovered that none of them have this characteristic, is that it is this diatonic scale that backwards and frontwards in a mirrored image, it is itself. Furthermore, you notice that mode 1 becomes mode 3. That's a sum of 4. Mode 2 stays mode 2. That's a sum of 4. The Lydian mode becoming the Locrian mode, 4 and 7 is a sum of 11, which is 4 in music. The 11th is the 4th. And then the Mixolydian mode becoming the Aolean mode is 5 and 6, which also has a sum of 11, which is 4. So the redundancy of that means something that I have not yet unpacked. If any of you know, please let me know. The image that I was using, I have now color-coded it. So what I did is every time it was mode 1, I made it red. And every time mode 2, orange, yellow. So I did the Roy G. Biv. I did the colors of the rainbow through the sequence. And then when I reverse the image like this, I want you to see that whatever was red is now yellow, and whatever was orange is still orange, and whatever was green is now purple, and whatever was the blue is now the indigo, is the darker blue or purple as my colored pencils allowed. It's neat to me, and so I'm sharing it with you. Thank you.